the chorus. Bittman is a national public speaker, workshop leader, healer, life coach, and peaceful warrior. Coming from an eclectic and extensive background of healing and spiritual traditions, he has inspired people all over the world with his practical message of hope and healing. For over 30 years, he and his wife, Hillary, have lived their mission to awaken the awareness of oneness between the spiritual and the physical. They operated Safe Haven Chiropractic, a healing center in South Lake Tahoe, based on donations only, for 24 years. Thousands of individuals and families were given the opportunity to embrace their gifts, pursue their dreams, and find the peace and wholeness that reside within all of us. The Bittmans are also ordained interfaith ministers and were the spiritual leaders at Unity at the Lake for 12 years until they retired in 2019. Stu and Hillary still travel the world, teaching the principles of a spiritual and abundant life. So, Stu, I welcome you back up to lead us in a meditation, followed by meditation music, and then right into your message.
Guys. She sure knows how to make an exit. So, there is a simple song that you all know. That wasn't it. And I doubt this song will be part of the halftime show later today. Sorry about that. But it is a song you'll know, and it contains incredible amounts of wisdom. In fact, they've done recently 5 talks about this song. So you're going to have to speed up your listening skills, because I'm going to have to talk fast. And the song is, if you couldn't guess from the title, if you saw the title of this talk beforehand, it's Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And so I'm going to focus on the last part of the song, but I have to catch up to speed. Row, row, row. Real briefly. Row, row, row reminds me that one row is not enough. Didn't say row your boat down the stream, it said row, row, row your boat. And I look at that as just a reminder to be persistent with our spiritual practices. Have you noticed that your spiritual practices always work? Thank you. Thank you. Do you think they'd work better if you did them more? Okay, well, that's enough of row, row, row. Maybe not. You know, there are times when I resist rowing. How about you? And, you know, times can be good, so I don't have to row. Times can be bad, so I don't want to row. I'd rather complain or whatever. So, yeah, enough on row, row, row. Okay. The next part says your boat. And you may think that's not an important part of the song, but I actually think it's the most important part of the song, except maybe for the part I'm going to talk about today. Your boat. It doesn't say row the world's boat. It doesn't say row your partner's boat. It doesn't say row God's boat. And I don't know about you, but I have my oars in all of those places quite often. And, you know, life is hard enough. So we could talk a lot about your boat, but keep your oars in your own boat. In other words, it's just the same thing as I assume we talk about here all the time. Instead of trying to manipulate others and the world to conform to what works for you, maybe we need to focus a little more on our own reactions, our own perceptions, our own stuff. Your boat. Okay, what's next? Gently down the stream. And I talked about this one. I thought about what's the opposite of gently down the stream. And I thought of kokanee salmon in October. How many of you do what I do and like go there and cheer them on? We cheer them on to their death. Yes, go bang into those rocks, throw yourselves brutally up the stream. That's the opposite of gently down the stream. And I could talk for weeks about the ways that I go brutally up the stream. And mostly what I want to remind you of is, again, life is hard enough when you're not on your side. For me, brutally up the stream is like beating myself up and all the things that I do other than giving myself love and encouragement. Anybody else? Just humor me here. I hate to be the only one. So then we get 4 merrilies. Merrily, 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 merrily. And I just look at this part of the song as the reward. It's the reward for all that rowing. And what a deal. We get 4 merrilies for every 3 rows. Isn't that awesome? And then, and so the rest of the song reminds me that the only time I'm not merrily going down the stream is when I'm choosing to focus on something else or imitate a salmon. I happen to like salmon, but generally to eat it. Anyway, you'll figure that one out later. So that takes us to life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Now, there are a lot of ways I could have gone with life is but a dream. So I chose to go with the right one. I chose to go with one that is rooted in just about every spiritual and metaphysical philosophy that I know of. And that is the idea that what our senses tell us is not the whole story. It's a dream. That it's not only not the whole story, but it often keeps us from knowing the whole story. Keeps us from knowing what is true and beautiful and good. In Buddhism, in Hinduism, they call this Maya, which translates as illusion. And it's what our mind creates this, what they call phenomenal world. The world that only depends, it doesn't exist without our perceptions, without our human understanding. It blinds us from the essential reality that's in it and over it and under it and through it. Things like love. In unity, well, let's stick with Buddhism. They say that Maya has us identifying with our body, with our ego, with our mind, rather than things that are eternal and unchanging. And everything that makes up Maya is ever-changing and impermanent. And that's why we suffer, because we identify with things that are fleeting. So yes, in unity, we would say that we identify with the, Charles Fillmore called it the carnal mind. Shows where his head was at. I say, take it up with Myrtle. That was not a nice thing to say. Anyway, yes, we identify with the educated mind, the little mind, the rational mind, as opposed to our God mind, our divine mind. So, the beautiful thing about this, as you're all looking a little depressed, is that this idea that life is but a dream gives us a choice, always. It gives us a choice. of which one to focus on. Always, Jesus said you can't serve two masters. And I don't know about you, but the life that goes through my head is like a dream. It's like a movie, a reel, to use modern terminology, a reel, R-E-E-L, right? And the whole idea of the song to me is to allow us to move from real, R-E-E-L, to real, R-E-A-L. And this describes a spiritual journey. And if we didn't know we had a choice, we'd be trapped, as we often are. Yeah, it's a dream. It seems like reality, yes? But since you and I can only have a very limited perspective on reality, on the whole of reality, yes? Then what our minds do is they create this ever-running, nonstop reel that seems real. Now, if we don't get anything out of this, let's understand that our reel, based on our own perspectives, our own experiences, our own belief system, our own programming, is going to be different from everybody else's reel. Well, but God, if we remember that, maybe we wouldn't judge other people's reels so much. Or would we see we relate to each other on the basis of our reels. My reel's better than yours. My reel is more real. Yeah. It's unique because only that which gets through our filters, our belief system, our perspectives, our experiences, becomes part of our real. How could it be the same as anybody else's? Have you ever noticed you and somebody else could look at the exact same thing and see two completely different things and argue about it? Maybe that's just me and my wife. Anyway. So since life is but a dream, again, it gives us the choice that no matter what's going on, we can choose to row gently down the stream toward what's real, R-E-A-L, towards truth, towards love, towards God, towards that place where we are one with the one presence and the one power. Sounds like a clear choice, doesn't it? Well, just remember, life is but a dream, and you'll remember you have a choice. Do I get trapped in the reel of my own creation? This is what's ironic to me. I am creating the movie. I am directing the movie. I am the lead actor in this movie, and yet I feel trapped by it. Can I rewrite it? Can I redirect it? Can I act differently in it? Of course I can, but not until I realize I'm being trapped in my own movie, in my own dream. Yeah, you should laugh at that. It's funny. Anybody here ever see Purple Rose of Cairo, Woody Allen? So Mia Farrow's got this awful life. She finds solace in going to the movies. She sees this movie called Purple Rose of Cairo, really likes the movie. She watches it like 5 times, goes to the theater, and then the main actor in the movie notices her in the audience and realizes he's trapped in a movie and goes out. Anyway, it goes on from there. This is what reminds me that you and I can do that anytime. The interesting thing about the movie is how upset all the other actors in the movie get when the guy leaves the film. Don't let the fact that other people get upset when you escape your own movie. Because if nothing else, you will inspire them to get out of theirs. You know, it's ironic, but it's sad too, because when we get trapped in our own movie, we lose. It's hard to find the exit of the theater. isn't it? Yeah, but it's there. It's there. It is there. How many of you, if you went to a film and you didn't like the film, how many of you would walk up to the screen with a big pair of scissors and cut it up into pieces and then rearrange all those pieces into how you want it to be? But isn't that what we do in life? I don't like my movie, so I'm going to get rid of some of the actors. I'm going to move locations. I'm going to change the setting. No, man, if you were in a movie that you didn't like, you would leave. Or you change the channel. Or you would realize that you have to change what's in the projector up there. Right? So these are all options that we have. Always when we remember that life is but a dream. Don't forget the what? Popcorn? Oh, the merrily. Well, yeah, we'll get into the merrily. So, yes, when we get wrapped up in the content of our movie, when we get wrapped up in the content of our dream, it ain't so merrily, 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 merrily. I mean, there are times, there's a lot of content in my dream that's good and positive. But even that, when I get trapped in that, then I want to cling to it. Then I want it to last forever. Then I want it, right? Either way, I suffer. Either way. So a much better approach, again, I believe, is to change the film. Move from real to real. That's what it's about. Yeah. You know, this hopefully is obvious at this point in the talk, but our level of joy and peace and love is not contingent on the content of our movie. And I got to tell you that all the schmutz, all the lack, all the drama, all the disease, all the stuff I don't want in my life is only in the content of my movie. Whereas my heart only offers love. Again, clear choice. And a fairly easy choice to make when we realize life is but a dream. And I can row the heck out of it. Yeah. So yeah, let's keep cleaning those filters through all the tools we have, meditation and prayer and gratitude work and forgiveness. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's clouding up our filters, we're just holding on ourselves. Let's practice freedom from the content. And you can quote me on that. You know, the content of the world's movie right now is nightmarish. And believe me, I am not suggesting that we just sing row, row, row your boat and have a goofy grin on our face and ignore everything that's going on and say it's all good. Not what I'm saying. I don't think row, row, row your boat is about escaping from the world. I think it's about navigating the world. Navigating the world from our heart space, from a God space. And the thing is, no matter how horrible things seem, we have a choice. No matter how horribly we show up, we have a choice. We could stay in horrible, or we could go to a different theater. Good luck finding a theater. I can't stay serious for long, you know that. Again, so yeah, and every time we make that choice, every time we make the choice to know God a little more by looking past the R-E-E-L into the R-E-A-L, then we are more able to do the things we want to do in this world, like hold the high watch and be effective. and act and speak with love so people can actually hear us and possibly change their minds. So we could stay grounded in our own values and our own principles. It's more important than ever to be able to do these things, isn't it? We are the face of God. But the only way we're really going to ever know that is true about not only us, but about everybody else who we're sharing this planet is to make that choice. To make the choice for God. To make that choice for our God self. And we're not going to find our God self in the content of our movie, unless it happens to be, Oh God, which was a good movie. Yeah, so let's keep a tight grip on our oars. Let us be persistent and keep rowing no matter what. Keep moving, Martin Luther King said. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. And please, salmon are wonderful, but gently down the stream is a lot better than brutally up the stream. Take it from me if you don't believe me. Embrace every one of those 4 merrilies that come with every 3 rows. So we can move from the R-E-E-L to the R-E-L-E-A-L and really be the change we wish to see in the world. And we're not just, apparently my lips have atrophied or something, man. We're not doing this just for ourselves. Because every time we clean off our filters a little bit, every time we move a little closer to the present moment and to the ever-flowing fountain of love that is always going on in our heart, every time we do that, then that love saturates every cell of our being. And it's beautiful because it opens our heart, and an open heart works both ways. You know, it allows me to give more love, and it also allows me to receive more love. And that's true for everybody. Every time we clean a filter and move a little more towards R-E-A-L, we bring everybody with us. So don't look depressed. Yeah. Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream, and all our sweetest dreams can come true. You know, I'm going to be 70 this year. That's why I really like it here. Here and my men's group. I am like the youngster. But yes, I am going to be 70 this year, and I still feel the truth that my sweetest dreams can come true. Even in this crazy world. And I know that's true for you too. So, thank you for being part of my dream.